What's going on, you guys? What is going on? What is going on, y'all? This be your boy Scotty by Nature TV, and we're here for a brand new review of the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16, episode 17, y'all. This is the finale. We done made it 17 weeks of this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all. So I know y'all are probably wondering. Why I'm late. Okay, I had to film. Okay, I'm filming two shows. I'm a main cast member on one, and I'm a friend of on another one. So I had to film today, and we had to film an hour before the show. So that's why I'm late. Okay, that's why I'm late. So yes, I have a book coming out. I got two shows that I'm filming, and I'm doing YouTube and all this other shit. So yes, your boy is around. Your boy getting around. Like Tupac says, but not in the same way that Tupac said, but absolutely. So yes, I had to film today. Um, uh, I ain't telling y'all, but yeah, I had to film today. That's why I was a little late. But what's going on, y'all? I hope you guys have had a wonderful weekend. You know, the weekend is over with, but it really don't matter because I had to work all damn weekend and stuff like that. So, that's the case for me. Okay. Y'all know I work all the time. I barely get a weekend off unless I ask for it. Okay. But we are here, y'all, and we got some things to talk about tonight. Y'all do know that we start at the 5-minute mark. I'm just going to be running my mouth with y'all for a little quick second. And then by the time we get to the 5-minute mark, we're definitely going to have a conversation. Yes, Harold, two shows, two of them. Okay, two of them. Your boy is fucking busy. Okay, he's busy. Busy as okay, like busy period. All right, but yeah, yes. What else is going on here? It's been raining. Let me tell y'all this story. I think I don't know if I told y'all this or not, but yesterday, the day before yesterday, baby, I was walking to the store. Honey, I was walking to the store. It was early in the day. I was walking to the store, and as I was walking up the street, I saw this dude, right? And he had this phone in his hand. He just recording, and I was on the phone with Josiah, and I'm just talking to Josiah on the phone. Next thing you know, I'm like, wait, is that a snake? Baby, it was a big ass rattlesnake in the middle of the street. I could have died. Do you hear me? I could have died. I literally could have died right then and there. Y'all know I have the biggest phobia, the biggest fear of snakes. And seeing that big ass rattlesnake in the middle of the damn street looking like a big ass belt, I was afraid for my life. But I walked right past it because I was on the sidewalk and it was in the middle of the street. I was hoping somebody was I was hoping that someone ran over the damn snake by the time I came back down the street. But baby, by the time I came back down the street, baby, the snake was gone. And then I ain't see no snake blood nowhere. So nobody ran over the snake. So what happened to the snake? All I know is that the snake was in the middle of the street. Okay. And I was just done. Okay. I am scared of snakes, honey. I'm scared. I was scared to walk back home. Do you hear me? And ever since I saw that snake, I walked to the store earlier because I needed to get me some body wash. Baby, I walked to that damn store to get that body wash, and I was looking all over the place for a damn snake. I was scared. Ever since then, I've been scared ever since. Then they had me Googling shit about snake season in Georgia. It's just been a mess, child. It's just a mess. So yeah, if you live in Georgia, they say it's snake season. So be on the lookout for the snakes, honey. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into it because we're already at the 5-minute mark, y'all. So let's go ahead and get into this review, y'all. So let me pull out my notes right quick. And y'all do know that my notes are right here on my handy dandy cell phone. And we already got 155 people up in here. We're close to the 200 mark, y'all. Okay. And also, for those of you who may not know, I hit 57K the other day. So congratulations to me. I'm really doing a damn thing right about now. All right. So yeah. So shout out to those of you who are subscribing and y'all are brand new to the platform and stuff like that. And y'all are subscribing pretty quickly because them numbers is going up. They've been going up ever since y'all came through. So go ahead and subscribe if you haven't. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So we open this thing up with Phaedra and Porsha. That's who we opening up with, y'all. And Porsha and Lauren comes over to Phaedra's home or whatnot, and they're just over there talking, and they start discussing Lundy's death or whatever. And like I told y'all before, I don't know if y'all was looking at, you know, the Porsha Family Matters show or not, but when me, T, and JoJo were doing the roasted review on this show, because that was our very first roasted review, we loved us some Lundy. Like, couldn't nobody tell us shit about Lundy. We loved us some motherfucking Lundy, okay? We loved us some Lundy. And I remember when she passed away, we were all sad about it. And so, you know, they were just talking about Lundy and all the things that they did, and they grew up with her. And, you know, Lundy was more like a sister to them than a cousin and things like that. And I think that those type of deaths are so hurtful because they're more than a cousin to you. You feel what I'm saying? Like when your cousin is like a sibling to you, that shit is the most worst shit in the world. When they just like sometimes cousins are your very first best friends and shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's what it gives. Like cousins are sometimes your very first best friends, honey. So just to see them going through that stuff with Lundy and how much they loved her and things like that, I really felt bad. And you know, Lundy was a big part of the things that were happening with the Hosea Williams Foundation and stuff like that. So she was like a pillar to that community in a sense. So I love me some Lundy, and I really, really hate that she passed away. To this day, I don't know how she passed. I never really asked any questions on how she passed. But regardless of how she passed, the shit is still sad at the end of the day. So shout out to Porsha and Lauren for constantly, you know, keeping Lundy's name alive on this show. Phaedra decided that she would assist them with, you know, Lundy's funeral and stuff like that with the you know, with everything that's going on with the funeral arrangements and things like that, which I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm not even going to shade Phaedra for wanting to help out with that. I'm not going to shade her about it at all, because at the end of the day, that's her specialty. You know, Phaedra been doing funeral arrangements and shit since 2012 or 2011, whenever season 4 came out. She been doing it. So if, you know, I don't see nothing wrong with Phaedra assisting with, you know, with Lundy's funeral and stuff like that. So I ain't got nothing negative to say. Y'all know I live to throw a dig at Phaedra, but when it really counts, I don't have to give her no dig. So shout out to Phaedra for, you know, reaching out and wanting to be the one to help out. The women, they said, Phaedra was like, has Porsha heard from any of the women in the cast? You know, has she heard from any of them? And she said that she's heard from some of the women on the cast. Most of them have reached out to her and gave their condolences and things like that. So, you know, she's been in a pretty decent place with the women. They all reached out to her because they all knew how much Lundy pretty much meant to her in a sense. So it was good to know that the women reached out to Porsha during this. I'm sorry, y'all. To Porsha during this trying time. And one thing about these girls on this particular season of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, they could be ready to pull each other's head off, but when it really, really matters and when it really counts, they really do come through for each other. So shout out to the girls on the show for doing it, right? So, but yeah, my condolences once again. I know that all this was filmed literally a year ago, but I still can't believe that Lundy passed away. I still can't believe that. That's really sad and heartbreaking to hear. So shout out to Porsha and her family. My condolences still, although it's about a month, not a month, but a year late. But my condolences to y'all for real, for real. Like, I know how it feels to lose a close cousin. I'm not even over my shit. So shout out to y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and get into the next thing. So the next thing is Angela, honey. Now, Angela is going to see her therapist, Wendy. You know, she said that she and Charles be seeing Wendy sometimes separately. They go by themselves, sometimes they go together. And Wendy is a big help with everything that they've dealt with in their marriage and their relationships and in their family life. Like, she has definitely been that person, you know, for them and whatnot. So she wants to come and talk to her. She said that the therapist was pretty much like their saving grace for their marriage and shit like that. So that's a really good thing when you got a therapist like that that's really willing to be there for you and help you save your marriage and stuff like that. So you ain't got to drive up no mountain like Sheila did to try to save her marriage to Mike bitch ass and all this other shit. So yes, I understand it. I get it, and I wholeheartedly understand what's really going on here. She says that the houses and the properties that she owns is putting a strain on her marriage. She says that these properties and these homes mean a lot to her and she wants to sell them, but it's causing a strain on her marriage to Charles because she keeps on asking him to pump money into these properties, but in the same breath, he don't really want to pump no more money into these properties at all. He doesn't really want to do that because they pumped enough money into it. And if you really want me to be honest about it, I don't always agree with Charles on most things, but I can't say that I disagree with him on that because it's kind of like this. Angela, I done put all this money into this shit. I know this shit is very much so important to your ass and stuff like that. So I have tried to really wing it and help out and things like that. But in the same breath, it's kind of like I'm putting in way too much money into this shit. And I don't think that shit is cool. And I'm not putting no more money into this. We done put too much money into this already. We ain't putting no more in there. And you can't really be mad at him for that because if he done put too much money into it already, then how much more money does he need to put into it? You feel what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it. So I don't know, but I ain't mad with him about it. Angela wasn't gonna have to do something with them properties or move the fuck on because if I was Charles, I wouldn't want to put out my hard-earned money into this shit either. You better reduce that damn price like you said you was. She said at this point she trusts Charles. Like they done went through their stuff, they done went through their infidelities, they done went through all the things that they needed to go through in their marriage. But she really does trust Charles at this particular point in time. But then she brings up the man who exposed Charles, and she's tired of her marriage being targeted. That is the one thing that I don't like about these Real Housewives shows is that when you're married and you have a certain type of marriage and people see that it's kind of like a sustained marriage, people tend to poke fun at that or not really poke fun at it, but they tend to target that marriage to, bring harm to the marriage. You feel what I'm saying? And honestly, I understand that, Charles ain't the perfect man. He's a grouchy motherfucker. But at the same point in time, it doesn't make it right that these people are really doing their due deals by trying to come between him and Angela. I don't think that's cool. Shout out to Southern Purchase for the $2 super chat. Charles is low-key the breakout star of the season. He definitely is. But I can definitely understand why Angela is tired of her marriage being targeted. They've been talking about her marriage from the very beginning. They've been trying to say that Charles be cheating on her. Porsha said she had tea on her husband. Kelly said that he had a side baby. Like they have said a whole lot of heinous ass shit about that woman in her marriage. So all I'm saying is, y'all, the people really need to calm down with this shit for real though. Like leave that lady alone, leave her marriage alone, because Porsha already didn't want nobody talking about Simon. She wouldn't even talk about Simon. So for her to sit up there and say that she had tea on somebody else's man was absurd to me. I mean, I'm just being honest. But in the same damn breath though, it's just like, girl, I get it, but I hate to say it, but that's the price you pay when you go on reality TV. These people are going to pick you apart, whether it's you, your clothes, or your man. They're going to find a way to pick you apart so they can have something to talk about on this show. Don't I know? Anyway, but yeah, so where we at? So we get into Shamia. Shamia has a performance today where she's going to be performing some of the music that she's released. Okay. Now, Drew says that with her being the singer of this group, she's here to give Shamia some constructive criticism. And to be honest, though, I'm not even mad at Drew. I'm sorry. Y'all can sit up here and call me a Drew ass kisser, whatever the fuck you want to call me. But y'all do know that I like Shamia too. I love Shamia. Regardless of how y'all feel about it, I still love Shamia with all of the fakery. But Drew got every right to say anything she want to say about Shamia, her performance, her music, or anything. Because we got to be real and we got to be honest. Shamia been coming at that girl all season about her music, about the way she sings, about everything. When Drew done put out a whole album, shut the hell up, Feisty, because this ain't about you. She done put out a whole album and you only put out one song that you put out back in March and you just got a video for it. So at the end of the day, it's just like, you cannot compete where you don't compare. So I ain't really mad at Drew for having any kind of shade at Shamia. I'm not mad at it. Y'all see how feisty starts with me, but then she plays the victim? That's what those cancer people do. The cancer people are just manipulative human beings. Like they start shit, then when you respond to the shit starting, they sit up and they gaslight you like you ain't got no right to say nothing. See, I'm just gonna ignore it. See, if I ignore feisty, she gonna say that I'm ignoring her. But then when I give her the business for starting shit, then she get up in these comments and play games. I'm just gonna ignore feisty, wanna be feisty ass for the rest of this time we doing this live because she really want my attention so bad. I'm just not finna play with feisty tonight. But anyway, I'm just saying Drew got every right to say whatever she wanna say about Shamia. Okay, I mean, yeah, about Shamia, anything. She can say whatever she wants to. But anyway, so when Britt came in, she pretty much spoke to everybody but Kelly. Okay, that's what she did. She came up in there and spoke to everybody but Kelly. So Kelly and Britt were basically sitting there, pretty much, ignoring each other. My thing is this: I'm still confused at this whole thing with Kelly and Britt. And I know that Britt is not everybody's favorite person, but in this situation, Britt don't look flaw in this. The person that looks flaw in this is Kelly. It's not Britt. And like I said, I know that Britt has done a lot of things this season. We all know that. And there's a lot that we can read her about. There's a lot of things that we can call her out about. But in this instance, she's not wrong here. Kelly is the one that's in the wrong. And I really feel like because of everything that happened with Kenya, and everybody knows that people were going to be mad at Britt anyway because they're Team Twirl. I feel like Kelly felt like if she turned on Britt, she was going to get their support. And she's not getting it because there's people that are on Britt's side in this situation. And rightfully so because she's not wrong. So it is what it is. Shamia performs, and when she fucks up on that note that she tried to hit, Drew shaded the shit out of her. And once again, we know that Shamia can sing, but we do know that she fucked up on that note, and we do know that Drew shaded the fuck out of Shamia, and rightfully so. Because guess what? If Drew went up there and fucked up a note, they would have had a field day with Drew. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's just the truth. And then she got up there trying to play that damn piano, and I'm like, girl, stop. Just get your ass up there, sing your damn Brandy-esque music, and then we good. Because it's not like you can't sing. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, that first half of that damn shit was a mess. But when she came back out on stage, it was actually pretty decent. I could give her that much. As a matter of fact, have y'all seen her video for Never Had? Once again, I feel like that song sounds like a Brandy record, that something that Brandy probably would have put on Full Moon or probably Aphrodisiac or something like that. That's what Never Had sounds like. However, the video could have been better if she didn't do all that extra outfit changing that she was doing. It was kind of too busy for me. That's the only thing that I didn't care for. But I saw people really giving her a whole lot of fever about her husband not being her love interest. And I was just looking at it like, okay, y'all mad at her because her husband is not her love interest. When how many entertainers out there are married and their wives or their husbands are not their love interest? Like, come on now. Just say you don't like the girl. That's how you know people don't like folks when they just sit up there and pick and choose and shit like that. But I just wanted to throw that out there because that was like irking the shit out of me. That was like, why is her love interest not her husband? It don't have to be her husband. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's a video. It ain't got to be her husband. But however, when it comes down to it, Drew and her shade towards Shamia was warranted. I don't care what nobody say. It was definitely warranted because Shamia been coming at Drew all goddamn season about her music, about whatever lie she apparently told or allegedly told. She been coming at Drew for a lot of shit, okay? A lot of shit. So, yeah, fuck out of here. So then after the performance, Angela chatted about the Charles Oakley Foundation and how she wants everybody to come and donate for the kids and stuff like that. And everybody is down with it. And then Kelly was like, she's going to get all of her followers to, donate. And then that's when Britt started saying, well, these are fake followers and stuff like that. And so, that's when that's when Kelly and Britt started going at it again about these followers and the fake followers and the bots and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, these girls are getting on my nerves. I don't know, because Britt and Kelly both have those annoying voices. They both got that annoying ass plastic surgery that they got done. So that's why they both annoy me at this particular point. But like I said before, regardless of how childish people may look at Britt and how she's handling Kelly right now, it's all warranted because Kelly did flip on her for no apparent goddamn reason. You feel what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I don't understand. So then Shamia thanks everyone for supporting her, but she says that she wished that Porsha was there, but she definitely understands why Porsha isn't there due to Lundy's death and how she's trying to hold up with that. So as long as she understood that. So then Shamia confronted Britt about what she told Porsha, because apparently Cynthia went back and told Shamia what Britt told her and Porsha. Now, here's my thing with Shamia. Shamia, listen, I love you to death, but girl, you lying. You lying. It's easy to say that Britt lying. It's easy to say that. But Shamia, you lying. I believe that you definitely did do that. I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt last week, but I'm kind of convinced that you did do that. You know what I mean? And I think that more people would respect it if you would just own that shit. You sat up there and said how you felt Porsha wasn't a true friend of you, or how she wasn't good to you and all this other shit. And the thing about it was, you're absolutely right. She wasn't a good friend to you. She wasn't a supportive friend to you in the least bit. All of that shit is true. However, if we're going to talk about fault and who's wrong in this relationship falling apart, we got to say that Shamia is also a part of the problem, because you're running to other people with your disappointment about your relationship with Porsha. Like, you're going to everybody else discussing it, but you're not going to the person that you need to talk to. So that's what makes you look flawed in the situation. However, although I don't give a damn about what goes on with Shamia when it come down to Porsha, because Porsha was a fake ass motherfucker to her. From like that shit that happened in season 9 and in Phaedra and all that stuff that happened back then. If I was Shamia, I would not be fucking with Porsha right now. And that's really the truth. I would have never talked to Porsha again after the shit that she pulled in season 9 and 10. But this is one of those things where you don't really realize that the friendship has pretty much expired. That's just what it is. We're not realizing that a friendship has expired. And sometimes we stick around and be in these friendships with these people and don't realize that we gave it all that we could fucking give at this point. Like, it's pretty clear you're not done. Like, it's like you want to stay around and things like that. Like, you want to stay around because of the history, and you've been friends since childhood, and I get that. I mean, nobody wants to throw away a 3 decade long friendship. Nobody wants to throw that away. But is it really worth it? Because at the end of the day, it's really not worth it in the least bit. Like, if you really feel like that girl wasn't no friend of you, that's absolutely fine. But just own up to the fact that you talked some shit. You said some of the things that you said. You felt that way about Porsha, and you talked about it to people that you had no business talking to about it. If you really needed to talk about this situation with somebody, like I said before, why talk to these new girls about this shit? Why couldn't you just go to Cynthia, somebody that's neutral, someone that you've been knowing for years, someone that you've been friends with for years, someone that's friends with both you and Porsha, someone that possibly could have bridged the gap? These new girls don't give a fuck about your friendship with Porsha. They don't care about that. What they care about is getting their foot through the door and being a fucking housewife and getting their camera time. That is what they care about. So they don't care about your friendship. So at the end of the day, you were in the wrong for doing it. I just feel like it's easy, and I got to take my bias out of it. I feel like it's easy for us to just say Porsha was a whack ass bitch. She mean, she this, she that, she not a good friend. Like I said, I still stand. I ain't changing my mind. I still stand by the fact that Porsha was an atrocious friend to that girl, because she was. And Shamia ain't the only person that has said that about Porsha. Nene said it. Several different people said it. People in her circle say it. However, Shamia, while your feelings towards Porsha were valid, you were wrong for even discussing that friendship with anybody else outside of it. Like I said, Cynthia is an exception. I can see you talking to her. But Kelly and Britt, these girls that just came around, they're really, you shouldn't have done that. And that was fucked up. And then after you just sat there and ran your mouth and vented to these girls, then you want to blame the group for your friendship falling apart. But it's not the group that broke your friendship apart. The friendship broke apart because you were harboring these feelings towards Porsha, and you were sitting up here divulging those feelings to the person that wasn't Porsha. You should have been divulging those feelings to Porsha. Not Kelly, not Britt, not Angela, not Drew, not nobody else. You should have been divulging those feelings to Porsha and Porsha only. Maybe y'all could have talked about it. Maybe y'all could have had a better conversation or a better understanding. Or maybe y'all could have came to this to the situation where, listen, you're not filling up my tank when it comes down to being a friend. I feel like this is a lopsided friendship. I feel like you're not really being the same type of friend to me as I am to you. So we can still be cool, but I'm going to keep you at a distance. I'm going to tread lightly with you. I've done that with people. I ain't got to completely let you go, but I'll tread lightly with you. You know what I mean? Because the friendship can't never friendship the way that I probably wanted to. You feel what I'm saying? So absolutely not. So yeah, she was wrong for all that. She was wrong for that. Porsha was a fake ass friend. Porsha was not a good friend, but Shamia was wrong with talking about Porsha to these other people, because it don't make you look any better, you know, talking to other people about your relationship with Porsha. Because to be quite honest, I hate it when other people talk about, like, if people have an issue with me and they talk about it with other folks, that make me look at them funny. Not the people that bring the bone back to me, because they wouldn't have no bone to bring if you wasn't talking about me to them. So that make me feel some type of way about you, and now I'm looking at you funny because you've been running your mouth about me with something that you should have been said to me. Okay? But that's how I feel about it, honey. What else is new? What else is next? So after that, Shamia denies showing the text messages. Like I said, I think she lied about that. Then Shamia says that she feels like this whole thing with her and Britt coming at her, it's over Kelly. She feels like Britt is jealous of her friendship with Kelly. Could be. I don't know. Then Britt starts bringing up Shamia's daughter. Now, I do feel like, child, fights to go to hell. But I do feel like I don't think that Britt should have went there with Shamia, you know, questioning her motherhood, because I don't think that she's a bad mom. And I don't really think that Shamia really went that far with Britt, but that's how Britt is. Britt goes low, and she just goes to a whole nother level with people and all this other stuff. So it's just, I don't know, Shamia. But Britt, I don't know. But Shamia, you lost that. Britt ate you up that whole scene. There was really nothing you could say. And that's just that. I can't. So then we get into Phaedra. We meet Chi-Chi, Shishi, or Chick, or whatever the fuck that man name is. You know, the dude that she met on the speed date and that married to medicine, honey. So she said that she's not interested in marriage. And she is going to invite Chi Chi to Angela's event. Scene was short as a muff. Goes to show you how much Phaedra really brought to this season, which which shows that she didn't really bring nothing to the table. This is why I was never excited about Phaedra coming back in the first damn place, because I just felt like she wasn't gonna do no but sit in her confessional, blow bubbles, and say child this, child that, the usual of what she normally does. So that's why I was never fully on board or ever excited about that lady coming back to this show at all, because she doesn't bring anything to the table. I mean, she just don't. That lady don't bring nothing to the muff table. And her and Shaq, by the time the next season comes, because she done told us that she coming back next season, which is very unfortunate in my eyes. But she coming back next season, and I wonder if this man gonna still be around. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But I can't. Anyway, so then we get into Britt. She says that she had her apprehensions about her mom moving in with her, but she's enjoying her mama living with her. The family is finally come together. They don't normally come together. They bringing, the in-laws together. And Britt says that they're moving forward. Her and Mike are moving forward with their ceremony. Not that I give a fuck about your ceremony, because I promise you I don't. I don't care about you. I don't care about Mike. I don't care about the ceremony. I don't care about none of that bullshit. I promise you I don't. You look good with your bob. I hope with your Bravo checks you gonna get your nose fixed again, because you sounding like you got nasal issues is a bit much. But that's why I'm kind of ecstatic that your ass ain't coming back next season. I'm glad you ain't coming back next season, honey, because I don't want to hear your damn voice. I just don't want to hear it. And Britt is a big disappointment, because all this hype about this shit that went down between her and Kenya, I really, really thought that she was gonna bring it. Britt fell flat. A lot of these girls, fell flat this season, but Britt was definitely a disappointment. I just knew that she was gonna be the resident villain, and she wasn't. She wasn't. I thought she was going to give me a little bit of baby Kenya, and she didn't. Big disappointment for me. Can't speak for nobody else, but for me. She kind of redeemed herself towards the end, but it's too late. So now we get into the Charles Oakley Foundation thing that they're throwing. Drew and Angela, they met up with Marcus and Alex. And if you guys don't know who Marcus is the dude that brought that shit to Kelly's event. And y'all know I've been reporting on this whole scandal with Marcus, Angela, Phaedra, all this other stuff. We've been working. I've been sitting up here talking about this shit the entire time, right? So then Phaedra brings Chi Chi to the event. Her Crisco filled lips bring Chi Chi to this event, and everybody meets him and stuff like that. And then, Porsha says that she's not really focused on her issues with Shamia right now. She's going through a lot right now with this divorce, and she's going through a lot with Lundy passing away. So at this particular moment, she's not really worried about Shamia and these issues. And that ain't really no shade to Shamia at all. But to be honest, my issues with my so-called friend will be the last thing I'm worried about while I'm grieving my cousin, a close cousin to me at that. That would be the last thing that I would be grieving about. Last thing that I'd be thinking about. Yeah, I'm upset about what I heard, but that's the last thing that's on my mind right now. If you want to be a fake ass motherfucker, you go ahead and do that. But I ain't worried about you. Not on my time, whatever. So Britt tells Porsha that Shamia is mad with her. And, Cynthia told them that she was the one who told Shamia about what Britt said. But Porsha doesn't think that Cynthia should have done it. But my thing is this: if you gonna sit up here and discuss this shit and all that, then she may as well have told it. I'm not really mad at Cynthia for telling Shamia what Britt said. Hell, it was gonna happen. Shit. They do the honors, and then Angela honors Porsha in Lundy's memory, because of all of the things that Lundy does with the Hosea Williams Foundation and things like that. After Porsha gets the honor and the award and stuff like that, Porsha breaks down over Lundy's death. And like I said, this was very new. This was very fresh on Porsha's mind. And I do think that those tears were pretty much, genuine tears, in my opinion. It definitely was. So Like I said, rest in peace to Lundy. Shamia says that she hopes that Porsha knows that the love is always there, no matter where they are. In their relationship, she really wants her to know that the love is always there. You can, at this point, I think that Shamia is literally begging for a relationship with Porsha and begging for a connection. It's okay to let shit go. For real, Shamia. It's okay to let somebody go. It's okay to let certain things go and certain people go. You're going to have to learn to let Porsha go. And you're going to have to learn that Porsha ain't your friend. And you also going to have to, admit to yourself that you're not hers either. That's what you got to do at this point. That's what you got to do. So, but to each his own, honey. Angela brings up what Marcus did at Kelly's event, and it's looking like as she's going down her road, it looks like she's blaming Kelly or she's suspecting that Kelly has something to do with it. But Kelly looking at Angela like, now why the hell would you even be looking at me like I did something? Like I don't even get down like that. Like as a woman that was married and shit, I don't really do shit like that. So what make you think that I'm doing it at this point? So then she went down the list and Britt was questioned as well. She thought that, was looking like she thought that Britt had something to do with it too. Although if she did, I wouldn't have been surprised by Britt having anything to do with it at all because of the fact that, she been coming at Angela all goddamn season. So I wouldn't be fucking surprised at all, to be honest. Then that's when Drew brings Marcus to the group. And as Drew brings Marcus to the group, Charles ain't here for it. Charles is not here for that bullshit. He don't want that man there. He ready to put his hands on him, but Angela is basically telling Charles to trust her, let him come over and explain himself. Angela trying to clear Charles' name, and Charles feel like I don't need to clear my name on shit. Them folks. To be honest, I don't blame Charles. I look like clearing my name up for any goddamn body. It is what it is. Let's see. So Marcus apologizes to Charles, but Charles ain't really trying to hit. He don't really give a fuck. But Angela just wants him to come and talk his shit, I guess. I don't know. Marcus says that Phaedra was the one that sent him. Phaedra was the one that paid him. I believe it. I don't care. Especially with these new receipts that I posted about. I definitely believe that Phaedra did that shit. And the fact that people are really trying to act like this is above Phaedra and that she would never do nothing like this, y'all must ain't never watched the Housewives. I don't want to keep on going down the road of what happened in season 3, in season 9 and the other seasons. I don't want to keep on going down the road of listing all of Phaedra's indiscretions. I don't really feel like doing all that because it's going to become repetitive. But at the end of the goddamn day, I believe wholeheartedly that Phaedra did that shit. I believe it. She's not above doing shit like that at all. She's good at bringing people around to be antagonistic. That's what she does. And the fact that people feel like it's not possible. Like, I get that some of y'all might like Phaedra and all this other shit, but the fact that some of y'all are sitting up here really trying to act like this shit ain't possible for her to do is really beyond me, because it's definitely possible for her to do it. She's done shit like that several times already. So my thing is this: why y'all think that she can't do it now? Girl, bye. Girl, bye. I'm just saying. Anyhow, as Phaedra denies ever doing it, but of course she's gonna deny it. Of course she's gonna deny it. Then as Angela confronts Phaedra and she was like, I cannot believe that you would do this. I don't even know you like that. I really liked you at one point in time, so why would you be on that whole thing? And Phaedra was like, well, I thought I liked you too, but I'm telling you, I didn't do this. I didn't do this. I didn't do this. And like I said, it's easy for us to say that Phaedra did it because she's not above it. She would do something like that. Let's put our thinking caps on here. She would do that. We know she would. So we're not going to sit up here and act like she wouldn't. We know that she fucking would. That ain't nothing new. But in the same breath, it's like, do these men have something to gain by lying and saying that Phaedra did it, or did she really do it? I feel like she did. And just like Naturally Tan just said, the way that Phaedra was sitting there too quiet and shit like that, when she sits there quiet, you know she has something to do with something. Take it back to that Maui trip in season 9 when Candy and Porsha were going at it, and Phaedra sat there that whole time and didn't say a goddamn word in that moment. Why she didn't? She sat there and watched Porsha take the fall for the shit that she actually said. And she didn't say a damn word at that table. She didn't say a fucking word because she knew that at the end of the day, this shit is true. She knew that I did this and I can't say nothing. Anytime she that fucking quiet, girl, she did it. Okay. Let me see. Phaedra then starts bringing up the foreclosures that Angela got. And then Angela was like, bitch, I've been transparent about all my shit. I know exactly what's going on with my foreclosures. I'll be the first to admit it. Can you admit to something? Phaedra, you won't even admit to lying on Candy saying that she tried to drug somebody. You won't even admit to that. So how you gonna try to dog somebody else about what the fuck they got going on in their situation? Like, Phaedra really need to have several goddamn seats for real, because Phaedra be doing the absolute most, and that is one of the reasons why I really don't like her like that, because she's a liar and a fraud and a fake, and there's really nothing more that I could say about that. She's way too much of a fraud for me. And y'all, and for the people that know me personally, they know that I can't stand a fraud. They know I can't stand nobody that lies. Everybody knows this already, so it pretty much is what it is. Cynthia and then Shamia jumps in, and then she starts threatening Britt, saying that she'll whoop Britt's ass. First of all, I don't believe that you're gonna whoop nobody's ass. And number two, the moment that Britt said what she said about you as a parent, that's when you should have slapped the shit out of her. But I get that was your performance and stuff like that. But y'all need to stop threatening to whoop somebody. I'm gonna need for all y'all to stop threatening folks with violence, and you know you ain't about that violence life. You know you're not gonna bust a grape in the Welch's backyard. You know this. You know this. So stop saying who ass you gonna beat. Stop saying it, because you're not whooping nobody ass, Shamia. No one. So don't get up here and say you was gonna whoop her ass. If you were gonna whoop her ass for real, you would have whooped her ass when she said what she said about you as a parent at the other event, but you didn't. So please. And then another thing too. Somebody said, and why are you trying to dig up dirt on someone you don't have a problem with? Why do you care about her foreclosure? Exactly. Like, that's the thing that kills me. Cynthia and Porsha, they discussed Cynthia telling Shamia what Britt said, and Porsha said, if she's coming with good energy, I'm coming with good energy. If she wants to lead a friendship, then she can lead a friendship. If she wants to come back, I'll be here to hold her down when she come back. I guess it's just one of those situations where I'm just over it. Either you fuck with me or you don't. If you fuck with me, I'm gonna fuck with you back. If you don't fuck with me, I won't fuck with you no more. And that's just that. You feel what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Then they show Porsha filming at the house, which I don't care about. And that was the end of the episode. However, let me look at some of these super chats. For the people saying why Phaedra would do this, Porsha already told Phaedra about the people she wasn't messing with, Angela and Drew. Angela was the biggest threat. That's why Phaedra said that mess. See? Phaedra tried to dig up dirt on Candy before the rumor. Ooh. First of all, let me take out the time to acknowledge my moderators in the building, including Feisty. Shout out to Payne, Harold, Sharice, Ebony, Feisty, Santivia, Ravine, Harold, Patches, Brandon. I think that's it. I hope I didn't miss nobody, but I think that's everybody. But in the Jail Slayer. I hope there is nobody else. But if I did, charge it to my mind and not my heart, honey. Okay. But yes. Oh, and Catherine. But yeah, I really do. I definitely feel like I definitely feel like Phaedra did that. I don't care what nobody say. I really don't understand why people feel like this is not at Phaedra's core to do some shit like that. Because it is. But baby, listen, I'm about to go ahead and get up out of here. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we hit 600 viewers tonight live in this chat, so I really do appreciate it. Y'all, tomorrow the panel will be on Really B's platform tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that on tomorrow night. I really appreciate all my moderators, everybody in the Scotty gang. If you're brand new to the platform, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and do all that good stuff. I will holler at you guys tomorrow. I'll be resuming my reviews for Nelly and Ashanti. I was very surprised to see that that people were enjoying those reviews. So I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you once again, Brandon, for the super chat. I owe you a super chat. You were the first CC I became a member of. Thank you so much, y'all. I really do appreciate that. But with that being said, y'all, I am your boy Scotty, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow. Bye, y'all.
On some whole shit. What happened to the Zeus fame? Then Bobby made you change your name. For a show, still searching for a ring. Pray these hoes find better days. Cut off everybody. Don't trust nobody. Play with everybody. Don't have nobody. Cut off everybody. Don't trust nobody. Play with everybody. Don't have nobody, nobody. Nigga never was a real one. Copping, please, spreading lies. What you hiding from? All these shows just an extra.
Little dance now, twerking on shit live.
Bad bitch, munch it up, cock goblin. Slapping ass on this dick, cock goblin. Gobble up his dick, bitch, a cock goblin. Fuck him in his face, bitch, a cock goblin.
Attitude bad, but I'm better. Ass poke out just fatter.